Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz, Jack and Later still at Lake Jackson. The crew is on the phone. I'll show you these guys in a second. They're just hanging out with me while I'm cooking. So if you ever get a chance to cook, have friends around you. Don't have them in the fucking kitchen because they're in the way. It ain't romantic. Move your ass. But if your friends want to be on a Zoom call or over on Discord, that's amazing. Gives you somebody to talk to. Do the thing, all right? So this is going to be great. Everybody does a stuffed baked potato, but this is South Texas where we put fajita on everything. So we're going to get into that. Before we do, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. Ring the bell down in that corner. We very much appreciate all of that. And we have merch, man. I got spoons, spatulas, flippers. I got a fake hand. I got, well, what is it called? A pot holder. It's just a little square, but it has a cuss word on it, which is awesome. It just says, oh, fuck, that's hot. But I got my cool apron that I'm not wearing because I'm wearing my company colors, so I apologize. But let's just get into the food, all right? Yeah. Title makes it like sound like you got a lot of stuff. Really easy. You're gonna need some thin, cheap beef steak. You're gonna want a little bit of butter. You're gonna need some kind of mixing. This is the carne asada stuff, but fajita works fine. I use sour cream and green onions to dress my potatoes when I'm done. It's up to you. And then some kind of cheese. I got the 4 blended Mexican cheese. You're gonna want 1 white onion and however many potatoes you want to use, whatever size. I try to use the big ones because, Texas, right? And then one of the secret things we're gonna need here that might as well just put on the ingredients list is some aluminum foil. All right. You can do it without it, but I prefer it. So first things first, wash your spuds, all right? And then shout out to your friends that are hanging out with you while you're filming on Zoom. Hello. Shout out to Fish and Fafilis or whatever the hell his name is. Preheat your oven to 425. I use mine right at 425. We're going to leave them in for about an hour, okay? 45 minutes to an hour. So the trick is to wrap them with aluminum foil. Get just enough to wrap it. You don't have to do it like airtight. Just tight enough where the skin isn't, exposed or whatever, and it won't come undone while you're just sitting there. Okay, get those nice wrapped. Get you a fork and just jab a little bit of bejeebles out of it down one side. I don't know why family thing did that. I don't know if we had like a vendetta against potatoes or something. Whatever. Onion, you want to slice this down to however small you want to do it, like in dice cubes, whatever. Mom always did them in like the rings, which I'm not a giant fan of. So I'll just give them a quick, easy chop. Though the problem with that is you end up with these flower-looking things. Let me show you. Look, you spin these around, cut them one way, spin them around. See this? Where it looks like that? I'm not a fan of that. So just cut that down. Now, your beef, your steak, whatever, be careful of your sour cream on the grill. Just go ahead and get your beef steak and get your nice sharp knife. Shout out to Andy, thank you very much. Just take these and just cut them into long strips here. You can also just get kitchen shears, or what I just call scissors that you put in the kitchen, whatever the kitchen shears, screw you fish, and cut all that up. Now get you a decent sized skillet. You want to turn this to about medium high, and you want to give it about 2 tablespoons. You can see it's measured right there on the side. Let that start warming up. We're going to cook that down in there. So be nice and careful with it. Once it starts melting down, just go ahead and put just your onions in there if you can, all right? Or if you're going to add garlic to it, like I like to add garlic to everything else, this is where you add it. You put it in all your fragrant stuff and start cooking this down. Just when it starts to wilt, we're going to add our meat. So just give it a nice stir in there. Don't let it just sit and cook. See where it's just starting to melt down a little bit. It takes about 4 or 5 minutes at the most. Then go ahead and put your beef in there. Now, the recipe on this one's, most of your fajitas and taco stuff, you want to cook it down and then add water and then add your seasoning. This one, just add the seasoning to it while you're cooking the meat, okay? Again, I use the carne asada stuff, which is amazing. I meant to use fajita stuff, but I realized I didn't have the packeted fajita stuff, and I didn't want to go through every freaking ingredient for fajita stuff. You can do it from scratch. So that's fine. We have a video for that. I'm pretty sure somebody can link it. But put the meat down on the metal. Make sure it's starting to cook everything where you take all the pink out of it. Now, while you're doing that, go ahead and check on your potatoes. Use a pot holder or a fake hand. Use the fake hand. Then when you get a fork in it, it just goes into it really easy. Whoop, yeah, then it's cooked in there. If you really got to force it, you can kind of feel that there's like a hard piece in the middle. Let it go back in there. But like I said, 45 minutes to an hour, just as soon as the fork goes in, it's nice and knife. So once your meat's cooked, turn off the heat, set it aside, and don't burn yourself on the potato. So I'm going to show you how I do this after I burn myself 2 or 3 times. Just give it a nice quick cut right down the middle, and then I hollow it out a little bit, just with the back of the fork to kind of give you just a little bit of potato where it's not just stuck to the sides, where it's kind of hollowed and kind of scraped out in the middle. Not too much, though. You want to leave some on the skin. And then immediately, once you get that done, you want to add your butter. It'll melt it down, okay? Now, like half a tablespoon is good if you're really into butter, or if a guy like me, a tablespoon and a half or so is fine, too. So, again, that's personal preference on what you dress your potatoes in. And then I always put my cheese on the bottom because I want it to melt. If there's a risk that you put it on top of it or whatever, because of the AC, the heat or the wind or whatever, wherever you're cooking this, it's going to cool it down and that cheese isn't going to melt. You're just going to end up with that shredded stuff. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to show you here that I can do it with a bowl. This is a lot less messy. It helps if you're doing this in the house where you don't have to chase your potato all over the plate like you're doing it outside. Same thing. Just kind of put a cross in this one instead of just a single line. Mash it down, put the butter, add the stuff. Now just dress it with your meats. Make sure to get some of that onion in there. Some people say bell peppers, but I don't like the bell peppers when it has the same flavor as the potato, and it's just a personal thing. You can absolutely add it, fix it just like you're fixing potatoes or fajitas or carne asada, and then just put it on a potato. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the bell pepper, so I just use straight onions. I dress mine with sour cream. Again, that is not something everybody is into, especially when people that call it the cream fresh. Just go ahead and dress it with whatever you want to do. Now I get my green onions and make sure to clean them, and then once I clean them, come back with my kitchen shears, which are just scissors that you leave in the kitchen and don't cut paper or cloth with, and then I just cut these up into decent sized chunks here across the top. And then salt and pepper, that's to your flavor, whatever you want to do. You can hit it with some hot sauce. This is one of my favorite new hot sauces. I picked this up at H-E-B down here, which is a gochujang type thing, but it's been repackaged and it's local, so it's a little cheaper. And that's it, man. Like I said, I did this one with the carne asada stuff. You can do it with fajita of any kind. You can do it with chicken or pork, or, I want to do it with some shrimp and see how that goes. But this is super simple. I don't know how well it holds up. I hate reheating potatoes later in the microwave or whatever, but you can use it for meal prep. If you keep them separate, that's up to you, if you don't mind rubbery reheated potatoes. But yeah, try this one out. Let me know what you think. See what else we should stuff potatoes with. I'm thinking about trying the twice baked ones, but I don't want to do that with shrimp, mostly because just baked shrimp just always makes me feel weird. It makes it always feel rubbery. I'll find a way to do it, but we'll revisit this. Y'all got to try it out. Let me know. And there you have it, folks. It's a loaded baked potato, but loaded with beef fajita, which everything's stuffed with beef around here, which Pride Month is coming up. So awesome. If y'all want to do it differently, y'all do it differently, let me know. All right, put it down in the comments. That's what the comments are for. You can also find me on social media. I'm at Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. I'm at all of those at Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. You can also find us at on Instagram at Living Between. We had to shorten it over there because the name was too long or some stupid shit, whatever. And you can find me, Osway Nerdy, across all of those. I'm on TikTok, and I'm still on Twitter, but I'm usually just talking nerds and comic book stuff and arts and then cosplayers. So hit me up over there if you want to just tell me how wrong I am. That I like all those people and streamers. So whatever. I will see y'all next time. Y'all please be safe, and I'm going to get back into the food. Later.